Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different reading. There's a couple of really significant transits that are occurring right now astrologically. We have Venus who moved into the home sign of Taurus where she's very comfortable, very relaxed, very sensual here. So I want to talk about that, pull some cards as well. And then we also have Saturn who's just gone retrograde as Mercury has gone direct. So the excitement is never ending, guys. The excitement is ongoing. It's rare. There are times where all planets are direct, but most of the time, because the planets tend to go direct once a year or retrograde once a year, it's not uncommon to see one go direct, one go retrograde, etc. So I want to talk about this because Saturn is the Lord of karma. So this is about karma balancing out. This is going to have very, very, I feel, long-lasting and very significant effects on our lives. And so I'm going to use some decks that I haven't used in a while here to go over these transits to discuss, and we will see what's going on. We will see what's ahead for everyone on this ascension journey. So welcome in twin flames and star seeds and light workers. Welcome in anyone, in a higher level soulmate connection as well. I'm so happy that you're here, and we're going to go ahead and just get started. So I'm going to start with Venus and Taurus, and we'll pull some cards for that, and then we're going to go over to Saturn moving retrograde. So Venus and Taurus is hanging out here from May 28th to June 22nd. So, and I feel like June 22nd, 2022 is significant with all the twos there. So that's a significant placement. And like I said, she's really at home here. Venus in Taurus feels very sensual, even a little bit possessive. Okay. So there's a possessive factor here. And what I feel like is coming, and I talked about this in a previous video, is there is love entering our lives. Okay. So we are feeling more sensual. The divine feminine might be even experiencing, moments where she goes into dance or some sort of movement or flow. Other people are taking notice of your speech, divine feminine. They're taking notice of the way that you dress. They're taking notice of your femininity. And I feel like it's going to help the masculine energy step back into the masculine role, the feminine energy step back into the natural feminine role. So I think this is going to help sort of the genders get sort of untwisted, if you will, or to the genders, and by genders I'm talking about masculine and feminine here, the energies, to come out of that kind of confusion because the feminine's been in the masculine energy, the masculine's been in the feminine energy, and I feel like this is going to balance out the scales, if you will. This Venus entering Taurus, this is about us seeking long-term security, guys. This is about us seeking something that's long-lasting. So for many of you who are in some sort of separation from a higher level soulmate or a twin flame connection, what you're going to see is that your appetite for pleasure is starting to get stronger. So if you've been celibate for a while, which many people are on the twin soul journey, you may find that you're ready to start engaging. You're ready to start having that intimate connection with somebody. You may start dating again during this time. You may surprise yourself with how excited you are to meet new people and to really put yourself out there. So, Taurus is all about the physical senses and the physical world. So with Venus here, this is about us connecting in the real world. So you could meet somebody online, but then you're going to connect in the 3D rather quickly. And there's going to be a level of, a sensual element here, a level of excitement and passion that perhaps you haven't felt in a long time, divine feminine. And this also goes for the divine masculine. So if you're in separation from your counterpart, there may be somebody who comes in, it's to teach lessons, somebody potentially for the feminine. I feel this is somebody who could be, again, a long-lasting connection for the feminine energy. Whoever you're meeting during this time, there could be a tendency towards a little bit of jealousy or possessiveness. So you do want to watch out for that because this is a very strong influence. Make sure that you're not trying to own one another. So that kind of comes up here in the energies here. And as far as our finances, because you guys know how I talk about love and how it's connected to finances and our money and our value and our self-worth. Taurus is connected to the second house of self-worth and how we show up in the world and how we are perceived in the world. So with Venus and Taurus, this is about, high quality relationships, high quality connections, but also, something that's very practical. So a lot of you might, that term kind of spring cleaning. Well, this is sort of the opposite energy. It's sort of like you're hanging on to your possessions at this time. You're going to hang on to the people that matter. You're going to prefer the finer things. So if you've been kind of like lackadaisical, working from home, working in sweatpants, you might start to turn around and want to really, start doing your hair again, or wow, it's time to get my hair colored. It's time to get a massage. It's time to get a pedicure. It's time to buy new clothes. It's time to spruce up the house. So it's sort of that kind of energy that's coming in. It's really going to create an environment for the feminine to open herself up to new love. And I know that's, triggering for some of you. And you guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know that, yes, I do trigger and I will speak the truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat, and I'm not here to tell you that this journey is roses and butterflies and rainbows, because it's not. This journey is the journey of your soul. It's the journey of working through your shadows. It's the journey of working through and dissolving karma. So there's work to be done here, guys. And it may not be the neatest or the prettiest path to union, whether that is just union with self, union eventually with your divine counterpart, or union with a soulmate, somebody you've contracted with, a soulmate. Some of you will marry soulmates. Some of you will marry kindred. Some of you will just go on this journey and say, you know what, I'm good on my own. You might have a partner, but you may not. And so you may dedicate yourself to a cause or to your mission or to children of the world or to your family or to pets or the environment. So I want you guys to kind of think expansively here. And I'm, trying to help everyone really open up their minds to what this journey truly is about. You have to let go of that physical person, because that physical person can hold you back from your own mission. It can really keep you stuck in old stagnant cycles. It can keep you from meeting people who you're supposed to meet or who you need to meet on this journey to help open you up to new parts of yourself. So letting go of the physical counterpart is really necessary right now. And those of you who are able to do so are going to find yourselves in a much more joyous position in this journey than those of you who are holding on tightly. That's why I'm talking about this energy of possessiveness with Venus and Taurus, okay? All right. So we got the 10 of Cups energy. They do want me to take these cards. A 10 of Cups energy and a major arcana, the Strength. So 10 of Cups speaks of fulfillment, something coming to fruition. This is about, having the happy, joyous, romantic connection and partnership, happily ever after, emotional contentment. This is about surrounding yourself with people you can trust. So there is an element here with Venus and Taurus of trustworthiness and who can I trust? And that always starts with self, guys. Can I trust myself? Have I been honest with myself? And what a lot of us find on this journey is, when your counterpart does something, if you're on the twin soul journey and your counterpart does something and you blame them, you're missing the point entirely. Let's say they block you. They choose a karmic partner. They tell you, excuse me, they tell you, I never want to see you again, or, I only see you as a friend. This is never going to work out, or any number of things. Or they might speak poorly about the work that you're doing in the world. They might just not have an understanding of what you're doing and how much of an impact it has, or whatever the case. There's lots of situations and scenarios here. What is important to understand is not what they're doing or why, but going within, where is it within myself that I am housing this belief system, this belief about myself? Because they're simply, the divine counterpart will reflect that back to you. They will reflect back to you your self-doubt, your fears, the ways in which you do not value yourself, your lack of self-love, the shadow self, in other words. So try not to take it personally, because when you take it personally, again, you're missing the point. If you're blaming them, pointing a finger, why are they doing this? They're doing that. They're hurting me. They are following their guidance, their inner guidance. When the masculine stays away, when you stay away, right? You're following your internal guidance. When you're called to put up a healthy boundary with your counterpart, that's your internal guidance. When the divine masculine is called to step away, to walk away, to get involved with a karmic partner, they don't want to hurt you. That's never the intention. They're doing it because there's a lesson to learn there, and they'll be magnetized in that direction, and there's nothing you can say or do that's going to change their mind. And that's what is important to understand as well on this journey, is you can't change their mind by sending them an article or showing them my YouTube channel unless they're ready. And chances are they'll find it on their own. And so, there are some masculines who are very aware and very awake and very honest with themselves and living in integrity. And then there are those that are still living in the shadows and living in denial. And, across the board, a lot of the masculines, they're working on their reservoir of strength. They're working on finding that strength to be able to create this 10 of Cups for themselves, to be able to provide this, and to be able to believe that it exists. Because when they end up with a karmic partner and they settle, so to speak, what's happening is they don't believe that they're worthy of this 10 of Cups energy. They have to go within and find the inner strength and the personal power to be able to be assertive enough to go after what they want. Realizing that they're stronger than what they gave themselves credit for. This is not an easy task. This requires them to go deep within. It requires them to have compassion towards self, to forgive others. And that includes you, Divine Feminine, because you've played a role in their life, and you've both caused each other pain throughout the journey. And both of you have to heal from this in order to move forward with someone else, or with the counterpart, or with self, really. So the 10 of Cups for the masculine is a very different meaning today than the 10 of Cups for the feminine. So feminines, the door is open to love. The door is open to new love, new experiences. And for some of you, this could be with a counterpart. For some of you, this is going to be with somebody new. Listen to your intuition on this. Listen to the intuition. Meditate, go inwards. That's been a pretty potent message that's come through in all of the readings, even the personal readings I'm doing, the North Node readings, guys. If you're interested, the North Node reading is a mix of astrology. It's your North Node and South Node we discussed. It's a 75-minute live phone call with me. We also do a card reading. It's a coaching session. You can ask questions. It's very interactive. It's my most favorite offering to date. If you're interested, you can read more about it on the website. But then to book, it will say it's sold out. It is not. To book, you need to email me at the email listed below, and we'll get you booked in. I am going out of town next week. I will be coming back, and I'm starting to book into the week of June 20th. So if you're interested, please do reach out so we can get you booked in, because those spots will go quickly. I only do one North Node reading a day. Okay, so it's interesting because we have here the 9 of Pentacles, which is a fabulous card. And oftentimes you'll see readers depict this as the single card. We also have the 2 of Pentacles, which is like juggling. You're juggling too many people, too many jobs, too many responsibilities. The need to bring more fun and less work and more play is what comes through with this card. You're spending too much, not bringing enough in. That's the abundance energy that we were talking about in the reading yesterday, guys. If you're a feminine or a masculine and you're experiencing fears about money or abundance, please go watch the video from yesterday. It will help you and it will explain what's going on. It's the reading from June 4th. Okay, so go check that out on the channel. And I'll try to remember to post a link, but you can just click on the last video there and it should give you some information. But the 9 of Pentacles to me is very much, it's a satisfying energy. It's the energy of, I've created this for myself. I'm creating my own queendom or kingdom. And it's my work that has, this is a very Taurus energy. This is speaking to the Venus and Taurus energy here. My hard work, is paying off. The fruits of my labor are finally appearing. And I know that I created this for myself. So some of you will be called to buy yourself something extravagant or luxurious, or just buy yourself a gift or a massage at this time. This is about successful self-employment. So some of you, this is your card that says go for it. This is the card, this is the sign that you were looking for. And then for others, you know, you need to not work as hard, and you need to allow more fun and more play and that inner child to come through, because that's actually what's going to bring you more abundance. Doing less is doing more right now, guys. Do not push yourself just for the sake. You won't see me come on right now and say, I have to do a reading. If I'm called to do a reading, I'm inspired, I will sit down and do it. Otherwise, my guides aren't even allowing me to do readings, because it's simply, there's a conservation of energy that's being called for at this time. Part of that is the Saturn retrograde, right? Part of that is, it's this beautiful opportunity to learn some major life lessons and to work through some karma that's like, yes, let's dig in, let's do this, let's get it all out before we move into 2023. So this is the Venus and Taurus energies coming through. I'm not surprised, you know, to see these cards. I'm not surprised to see the Strength card for the masculines, the High Priestess for the feminines, and the Ten of Cups for both. I'm not surprised to see the Nine of Pentacles for the feminines and the Two of Pentacles for both the feminine and the masculine. We're going through a chaotic time right now, chaotic energetically, chaotic as well, just universally and within the collective. People like don't know what's up or what's down. Where is it that you might have resistance? This is where the Saturn retrograde is going to come in, guys. Where is it that you might have resistance? Where is it that you're, or this is also the Venus and Taurus energy, because where is it that you're holding on, or that you're trying to, trying to make something happen, trying to prevent something from happening? Where is it you're trying to control a situation? There's a gripping energy here. You need to release that. You need to let go, not take life or this journey so seriously, because if you do, it can be the downfall of you. It's important that you release and let go. Let the divine lead the way. Trust in divine timing, and trust that there is a vessel, you know, that you're in, and you're not the driver. The divine or God is the driver. Interesting that we have the super moon and the long night moon. So we have darkness, and then we have attraction. So there's this potent energy here. This is the number 44. So for all my number numerology folks out there, have at it in the live chat. But the attraction card to me is the Venus and Taurus. You're very attractive at this time to potential suitors, divine feminine. Your masculine feels this. It could produce or create some anger, ignite some anger within them, because it's like they still don't feel good enough, and they know they can't come to you like empty-handed. They know they know that they have to let you move on and be happy. And this has been hard for you too, divine feminine, because there was a time where you thought, my masculine is the only one that I'll ever want. I can't even consider or conceive of anybody else, you know, giving my heart away or being intimate with anybody else. And now many of you have started to open that door to see what's on the other side and to peek through. And what it's done is it's brought a major shift within the connection. And within the divine masculine, his heart space, his head space, because he's really started to question what this journey is all about. And it always comes back to you, even though they might have temporary amnesia where they kind of forget who you are, they're able to push it aside. It comes back to you when they have those tower moments and the world comes crashing down. It comes back to the feminine. There's this powerful magnetism between you two, but most feminines aren't feeling this right now. If anything, you're resisting. You're the one resisting. You're actually the runner at this time, divine feminine. The masculine has become the chaser. However, it's not going to look the way it would look if the roles were reversed. The masculine chasing looks different than the feminine chasing. So that's something that's important to understand. And then we have the energy here of darkness, the dark night of the soul. So the masculines are moving through, again, the anger stage, the quiet, the solitude stage. I've been saying this for months now, probably 8 to 10 months. The masculines have been hibernating. They've been in hermit energy. They've been in this energy of discovering the self. It is required a lot out of them. It's required them to step back from toxic substances like alcohol abuse. It's required them to really take a step back from any relationships or partnerships that they're currently in, from anybody who's trying to persuade them one way or the other, including you, divine feminine, so that they can find their own path and their own way. When they do this, it can seem very abrupt. It can seem very rude. They will block you. They will ghost you. They will totally disappear. They will go silent, and it's as if you go, did I ever exist to them? Was this ever real? So you, feminine, at some point you will go through that, the questioning of all of that, and it's extremely painful. It's an ego death for you as well, because you have to go back to remembering the truth, and you have to go back to remembering what this really is, and that yes, the connection is real, but the only one who can really confirm that for you is you. So let's see, what about Saturn retrograde? Give me a card for Saturn retrograde, please. That's interesting. Conclusions are within reach. I believe that when Saturn goes direct, it's very similar to when you have your Saturn return. When Saturn goes direct, he will impart a gift, okay? So Saturn is retrograde from June 4th until October 23rd. So we have about 4 months of this, and it happens every year. So 4 months of us being able to, you know, we have the Lord of Karma moving backwards in relative to Earth, so to speak. That's what it looks like. It's not actually what's happening. But this is a full moon eclipse energy. We just went through the eclipses. And then the full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Yeah, this will be, you know, the Saturn, this can seem like a tough cycle when Saturn is retrograde, but it's also the opportunity for us to reach these conclusions, to, you know, come out of the dark night of the soul, come out of this darkness and start to attract in the things that we desire, like the abundance that we've been talking about now for months and months here on the channel. There's a major shift in the cosmos that will take place during these next 4 months. Not only is Saturn the Lord of Karma, but he's the Lord of structure, discipline, and authority. So it's a feared energy, okay? When you say, oh God, I just had my Saturn return, or I'm about to have my second one every 28 years, there's an energy. It's almost like you brace yourself when you hear Saturn. There's a reason for that. Saturn is like the great granddaddy. He's like the taskmaster planet. He will whip you into shape. But I want you to consider that this 4.5 months here into October, that this is actually, it has the potential to be really, really good. So when you know, for me, when I do your North Node readings, we do talk briefly about your first Saturn return, which occurs at 28. Okay. When that happens, you start to enter into your North Node energy, which is your destined path, your destined course in this lifetime. Okay, you're stepping out of old habits, old patterns, situations, etc., cycles, dealing with karma. But it's not an easy transit. And it's often terrifying when you're going through it, because you will go through divorces, you will lose people, experience loss, hardship. You could lose your job, lose all your money, your earnings, your investments. Like all of this can happen during your Saturn return. I think the first one is usually more potent and powerful than the ones that come after at the age of 58, and then 84, etc. But the first one really marks that entrance into being an adult. So it's really big, guys. Now, the fact that this is happening to us collectively says that, you know, you could feel tested during this time. You could feel as though, you know, it's like giving you the chance to take a glimpse into your soul's true path. And am I in alignment with my soul's path and purpose? And if I'm not, this is a chance to correct course. That's what retrogrades do. They give us a chance to correct course. If you really take the time, guys, and you're patient and you integrate the lessons that Saturn is trying to teach you, this can be a life-changing period, a life-changing event for you. Let's make it that. Let's not fear this. Let's release the fear, because fear is a lower level energy and vibration. It brings us down. It holds us down. So Saturn can often feel like that critical inner parent, or, you know, it can feel like constructive criticism. But it can feel like there's a weight bearing down on us during this time. So we have to decide, are we going to embrace this transit, this retrograde, and are we going to learn our lessons? Or are we going to move through the blood, sweat, and tears and do the work and get our hands dirty? Or are we going to deny it and stay in resistance? Where is that resistance card? If you resist it, let's find out what happens if... What happens if you decide to resist this. You're going to go through a massive awakening. We actually have the Hanged Man here. It's going to bring your awakening to a pause. That's what's going to happen. So if you decide to stay in resistance, the universe is going to make sure that you're in this kind of perpetual Hanged Man state until you come out of resistance. You're like, oh great, I get a break. This looks good. Look, he's just chilling, hanging upside down here. But you're going to be forced to see things in a new light. It's going to be more of a forced action than one that you decide to do. Is that really what you want? Probably not. Probably not. So let's take a look here. Tell me more about this Saturn. Yeah, fear, right? There's a fear associated with Saturn. There's a fear. We were just talking about fear. We have to let go of the fear, because at the end of these 4 months, we're going to feel a lot lighter, guys. We're going to feel as though we've let go of something major and heavy, because we have. Conclusions are within reach. Yes, we know that. Why do we know this? We know this because we are experiencing it. We are feeling it. We are moving through it. We're seeing it. Some of you are seeing it with your own 2 eyes. Some of you are in contact with your divine counterparts, or you work with them and you're seeing the shifts and the changes that they're moving through. This is life-changing, guys. You have the opportunity to become the most incredible, impactful, powerful, strongest version of yourself during this time, if this is what you choose. In fact, this feels so powerful, this Saturn retrograde, that I'm just decided right now that I'm going to offer those readings as well. So in addition to the North Node readings, I'm going to offer personal Saturn retrograde readings, where we're going to talk about how we're going to pull cards. We're going to look at where your Saturn is in your natal chart, and we're going to look at how this is affecting you over the next 4.5 months, and how you can best utilize this energy to produce this most incredible version of yourself. That's what we want. That's what everybody needs and wants during this time. So can we do that? So as we reflect on where we are in life and where we want to be, and whether we're on track to becoming this highest version of self, we could experience internal pushes or external pushes, like an external situation that's going to force us to take action. Again, what is it do we want? Do we want to stay in fear and resist? And we want to be forced into this pause in our awakening? I sure as hell don't. I've done enough work. We've put in the blood, sweat, and tears. I like things to continue moving along. So as Saturn continues to move right through this transit, he's going to impart you with wisdom. He's going to give you the tools that you need to access your gifts and to accept your gifts and your destiny. That's what's really important here, guys. Can you accept how powerful you are? Do not get discouraged by the challenges that come up, because they will at this time. Don't say I didn't warn you, but stop and listen to the message. This is a disciplinary planet. He's here to discipline us, and some of us need it to get whipped into shape, okay? We're setting the stage here for the next great world event. So let us do this in style. Let us make sure that we're not in resistance, that we're not hesitating, and that we are, in fact, welcoming the gifts and welcoming the lessons and the shifts and the changes. It's funny. I thought when I began this reading, I thought I'd have more to say about the Venus and Taurus transit. I have a lot more to say about Saturn retrograde. Saturn is considered an outer planet. So that being said, these outer planets. So the outer planets are Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Neptune, and Uranus. And they spend about half of every year in like a retrograde. So we've experienced this. We experience this every year many times over. This is not like a novel energy that we're experiencing. So it's really nothing to fear. But we get to really tackle major life lessons. And we get to be mindful of what comes up for us. This is about accountability. It is about conquering our fears. It's about becoming the full, most impactful version of ourselves. Saturn is a teacher, guys. He teaches us. He's a stern teacher. He's the teacher you hated to love, okay? You loved him, but you're like, man, you're so tough on me. And that's the teacher that you remember. I remember that instructor in college. I remember that teacher in grade school and middle school. I have two teachers in particular that I remember. The others I remember, but not as fondly as the ones that were tough on me, that pulled me aside, that called me on my shit. Saturn will call you on your shit. Okay? He wants your dreams to become a reality, and he has to do so. You have to ally up with him, guys. You can't look at him as a foe. We have to look at Saturn as a friend. So we're speeding up the process of karma, guys. Let everything come out the way it needs to come out. Let the chips fall where they may. Don't worry about what your counterpart is doing over there. It doesn't matter. They're going to be dealing with their own karma too. They're going to be coming into more of an honest understanding or communication with their own self about their karma, about how they've created their current situation, which is so big for the masculine, because it's easy to blame it on everything. Oh, my father wasn't there, my mother, or my job, or my skin color, which is what my masculine likes to do, or my gender, or it's like there's always an excuse. There's always, like, my upbringing, there's always a reason that we can give that we aren't where we want to be. But and the masculines are kings of that. So were we at a certain point in time, both feminine and masculine. But now we get to overcome that karma. We get to be the ferocious fighter that we know that we are. So guys, team up with Saturn during this time. Make sure that Saturn is assisting you, not let Saturn assist you. What do we have here? We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, guys, so this is an amazing opportunity. Look, the card says an amazing opportunity. Be bold, courageous, and optimistic. Do what you're passionate about. Now is the time to take action. And it's interesting because we have the attraction card and we have this spark of light here. Be the spark of light. You are the spark of light. Don't seek it outside of yourself and your counterpart. Don't seek it outside in life that's out there. Don't seek it in a new partner. Don't seek it in money. Don't seek it in anything else besides yourself. This is an opportunity for you to finally reach those conclusions. These are karmic conclusions. So karmic cycles are wrapping up during this time. This is going to make everything a lot more clear, a lot more stable, a lot of stability coming once Saturn goes direct. The end of a tough cycle, yes, that will be when Saturn goes direct. Whatever has been tough, Capricorn is the workhorse of the zodiac. Whatever has been tough, wherever it is that you've had to really, really dig your heels in and really do the work, is going to start to feel a lot easier. So if it's like right now, if the abundance feels like it's hard to come by, or if there's a lot of fear, guys, I want you to, work on letting that go. Now you can understand, why do I feel this way right now? Why do I feel like I'm scared about money? I'm scared about abundance. I'm scared of what's going to come next. I don't want to be alone. All of these fears are surfacing, so we can kind of level out the karmic playing field so that we are coming from a much more powerful place moving forward. If you want your own North Node reading, which we talk about your past lives, your gifts, your talents, as well as your karma from past lifetimes. We also talk about your destined life in this lifetime, your North Node. We do a reading, it's astrology, it's a mix of all of that. It's a 75-minute live reading. I'm going to do the Saturn retrograde readings. Those are going to be a 60-minute live reading. So it's a phone call with me. So you get to ask questions. And I'm going to be offering those here when I come back starting June 20th. But if you want to book in, you'll want to reach me at the email below to book in for either of those readings. I do not offer twin flame readings at this time. I am not called to do so. I'm called to focus on other things right now to best serve you. Even if you think, well, it would best serve me to know what my twin flame is doing. Not the case. That's not actually accurate. It feels that way, but I can best serve you by doing readings like this and really helping you hone into your personal power and your strength and getting you back on track to where you need to be for your most incredible self. So I send you guys a lot of love and support during this time. I hope this has brought a lot of clarity. I feel intuitively that it will and that it has. If this has helped you in any way, please share the video. Please share my channel with others who can benefit. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to all my moderators, as always, for being so incredible and so helpful and so giving of your time and energy. Thank you to the moderators in my private group. You guys know who you are. I'm very, very grateful for everyone who's ever in any way given to the channel, donated to my Amazon wish list, or in any way just thanked me or shown gratitude, I'm grateful back. Grateful to be here. Take really good care, guys. I'll see you in the next video.